What if I told you that you're better than anyone? It sounds outrageous, perhaps even arrogant at first glance, but this simple truth could crush the comparison trap that's been holding you back for years. Today, you'll discover why measuring yourself against others constantly fuels anxiety and diminishes your potential. How flipping the script fundamentally rewires your mind for success, and the exact steps to turn unshakable confidence into unstoppable action. The human tendency to compare is deeply rooted in our evolutionary psychology. From our earliest days, we've been programmed to assess our standing within the group, a survival mechanism that once served us well, but now manifests as a relentless source of stress in our hyper-connected world. Social media platforms have amplified this tendency to unprecedented levels, creating a 24/7 highlight reel of other people's achievements that leaves many feeling perpetually inadequate. But what if there was another way? What if the key to unlocking your greatest potential wasn't about being better than everyone else at everything, but about embracing the singular combination of traits, experiences, and perspectives that make you uniquely you? This transformative approach doesn't just boost your self-esteem. It fundamentally changes how you approach challenges, relationships, and opportunities. Throughout this journey, we'll explore cutting-edge research in positive psychology, examine case studies of individuals who've mastered this mindset shift, and provide practical exercises you can implement immediately. Whether you're struggling with imposter syndrome, battling perfectionism, or simply wanting to break free from the exhausting cycle of comparison, these insights will equip you with the tools to recognize and leverage your unique edge in a world that often pushes conformity. The path to extraordinary achievement and fulfillment begins with a counterintuitive truth. The moment you stop trying to be better than everyone else and focus instead on being the best version of yourself, you unlock potential you never knew existed. Let's begin this transformative journey together. The comparison trap. We spend our entire lives sizing ourselves up, counting likes on social media posts, comparing grades in school, silently noting who got promoted at work, always checking the scorecard against an ever-changing set of benchmarks. This instinct starts remarkably early. Research shows that children as young as 4 begin measuring themselves against their peers, laying the groundwork for what can become a lifelong pattern of social comparison. But here's the shocking part that few people realize. There is no finish line in this race. The goalposts are constantly moving, the metrics ever-changing, and the competitors innumerable. Neuroscience research from Stanford University has demonstrated that constant comparison actually triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which not only damages physical health over time, but also impairs cognitive function and decision-making. In essence, the very act of comparing yourself to others literally makes you less effective at becoming your best self. The digital age has exponentially amplified this problem. The average person spends approximately 2.5 hours daily on social media platforms, specifically designed to showcase the highlights of others' lives while hiding the struggles and failures. This creates what psychologists call a distortion field, where we compare our complete selves, including all our flaws and insecurities, against highly curated versions of others. The mathematical impossibility of winning this game explains why rates of anxiety, depression, and feelings of inadequacy have skyrocketed despite objectively improving living standards. The comparison trap operates through several distinct mechanisms. The zero-sum fallacy. Many fall into the false belief that someone else's success necessarily diminishes our own, that there's a finite amount of achievement, recognition, or happiness to go around. This scarcity mindset creates a perpetual sense of competition where none needs to exist. In reality, success is rarely zero-sum, and the accomplishments of others often create opportunities rather than eliminate them. The expertise illusion. we tend to compare our areas of weakness against others' areas of strength, creating an inherently unfair assessment. The executive who compares her public speaking skills to a professional keynote speaker, or the new parent who compares their parenting to someone with 5 children, falls victim to this distortion. These comparisons ignore the thousands of hours of practice and experience that created those skills in others. The hidden journey bias. We see others' results without witnessing their struggles, failures, and the learning process that produced their success. This creates the illusion that achievement comes easily to others while being difficult for us. Psychologists call this attribution error, assuming others succeed due to innate talent while attributing our own struggles to personal inadequacy, rather than recognizing the universal nature of growth through difficulty. The relevance mismatch. Perhaps most damaging of all is comparing ourselves using metrics that don't align with our own values and goals. The artist who judges their success by financial benchmarks relevant to investment bankers, or the teacher who measures impact through social media follower counts, creates an impossible and irrelevant standard that guarantees dissatisfaction. So while everyone's busy chasing someone else's definition of success, they're missing the only race that truly counts, becoming the best version of themselves according to their own values, strengths, and purpose. Breaking free from this comparison trap requires more than just positive thinking. It demands a fundamental reorientation of how we define success and measure progress. Renowned psychologist Dr. Kristin Neff has pioneered research showing that those who replace social comparison with self-compassion, recognizing their own humanity and treating themselves with the same kindness they would show a friend, demonstrate greater resilience, more authentic relationships, and higher overall well-being. This isn't about lowering standards. It's about recalibrating the measuring stick to one that actually serves your growth. When you stop competing with others and start competing only with yourself, focusing on your own growth, learning, and improvement, you escape the trap that keeps most people stuck in perpetual dissatisfaction. As the ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely noted, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Your worth isn't determined by how you stack up against others, but by how faithfully you develop your unique gifts and contribute them to the world. Your unique edge. Here's the secret weapon you already have, but may have never fully recognized. You. No one in human history has lived your exact experiences, felt your unique combination of emotions, or seen the world through your specific lens. This isn't motivational fluff. It's biological fact. Your neural pathways, shaped by your genetics and lifetime of experiences, create a perspective that is quite literally one of a kind among the nearly 8 billion people on Earth. Consider what this means. You possess insights, connections, and creative possibilities that no one else can replicate. Even identical twins with shared DNA develop distinct personalities, preferences, and perspectives over time. Your uniqueness isn't just a feel-good concept. It's your most powerful competitive advantage in a world increasingly dominated by automation and artificial intelligence. Think about that odd hobby or quirky skill you've dismissed as irrelevant or embarrassing. History repeatedly shows that innovation emerges at the intersection of different domains, experiences, and ways of thinking. Some of the world's most successful people built careers on exactly the traits others overlooked or even criticized. Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, credits her success to her background in door-to-door fax machine sales, an experience most would consider irrelevant to fashion entrepreneurship, but which gave her the resilience to handle rejection and the communication skills to simplify complex ideas. Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia leveraged their design school background, not traditional business education, to create Airbnb's user experience that disrupted the hospitality industry. Temple Grandin revolutionized livestock handling facilities precisely because her autism gave her a different way of seeing the world and understanding animal behavior that neurotypical engineers had missed. In each case, what might have been dismissed as a disadvantage or irrelevance became the cornerstone of extraordinary contribution. Your weird edge isn't a flaw to be minimized. It's your shortcut to standing out in an increasingly homogenized world. Neurodiversity researcher Dr. Thomas Armstrong frames this perspective as the gift paradigm, the understanding that cognitive differences aren't deficits, but simply different operating systems that offer unique capabilities. This principle extends beyond diagnosed conditions to encompass the infinite variation in human thinking, feeling, and perceiving. To identify your unique edge, try this exercise. Create an anti-resume that lists not your conventional achievements, but the experiences, perspectives, and traits that make you different. When have you solved a problem in a way others didn't think of? What difficulties have you overcome that gave you unusual insight? What combinations of interests or skills do you have that rarely occur together? What do people consistently come to you for help with? What can you do effortlessly that others find challenging? These questions reveal what organizational psychologist Adam Grant calls your originals, the distinctive aspects of your thinking and approach that generate unique value. One person might discover they have an unusual ability to translate complex ideas into simple language. Another might realize their experience growing up between cultures gives them exceptional perspective-taking abilities. A third might recognize their sensitivity, often seen as a weakness, actually provides extraordinary empathy and emotional intelligence. Rewiring your mindset. Reprogramming your brain is easier than you think. Start each morning with a simple affirmation. I am better than anyone at being me. Say it out loud, write it down, believe it. Neuroscience shows that repeated positive self-talk strengthens the neural pathways tied to confidence. Within days, you'll notice hesitation giving way to boldness. And that's when real change begins. From confidence to action. Confidence means nothing without courage. So here are 3 concrete steps. First, set one micro-challenge today. Maybe speak up in a meeting or post your work online. Second, celebrate that small win, no matter how tiny. Finally, build momentum by raising the bar just a bit tomorrow. Each victory compounds, fueling your drive and proving that you really are better than anyone at taking action. Avoiding the arrogance pitfall. There's a razor-thin line between confidence and cockiness. To stay on the right side, cultivate humility. Keep a daily gratitude journal. Offer genuine compliments to others, and practice active listening. True confidence isn't about thinking you're superior. It's about knowing your worth while recognizing everyone else's value too. Conclusion. So here's the roadmap. Escape the comparison trap. Own your unique edge. Rewire your mindset. Take bold action. And stay grounded in humility. When you stop competing with others and start competing with yourself, you become unstoppable. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe for more high-octane self-mastery tips, and drop in the comments one way you'll own your edge today.